What's going on, Flix Talkers? This is David and I'm back with another movie review, this time for Disney's 2019 live action version of Dumbo. Now this movie came out March 29, 2019. It is rated PG and it clocks in at 1 hour and 52 minutes. Now this film is directed by Tim Burton, who did such films as A Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, and Edward Scissorhands, just to name a few. And this film does star Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Eva Green, Nico Parker, and Finley Hobbins, just to name a few. Now a quick synopsis for Dumbo is: a young elephant whose oversized ears enable him to fly helps save a struggling circus, but when the circus plans a new venture, Dumbo and his friends discover dark secrets beneath its shining veneer. Alright guys, so I'm gonna let you know right off the bat, I was not really excited to see this live action version of Dumbo. Even after seeing all the stills and some of the clips and the trailers that came out for this movie, I just really wasn't pulled in too much. My girlfriend wanted to make a family movie day of it, so I was all in for that. And once it came time for the movie to start rolling, I started to get really pumped up, especially by the score from Danny Elfman. And I love all of his compositions, so I was really sucked in. And that was a huge like of this movie, was that the music did play a huge part into what was going on screen. Now right away we're thrown into this circus that's on the road, and it's ran by Danny DeVito's character Max Medici, who runs a whole circus of, you know, quote unquote oddities or freaks, and they all kind of have their own unique abilities. You have the real strong man, you have the mermaid lady, you have a big clown act, you have people that ride horses, and of course elephants that do stunts. Now almost immediately we're shown Jumbo, who is Dumbo's mother, and she's kind of in pain, and they find out that she's giving birth. So once we finally get to see Dumbo, actually they call him Jumbo Jr. Actually, when we see Jumbo Jr., they find out that his ears are really floppy, and Danny DeVito kind of wants to cast him out and get rid of him almost immediately. Now it's the children of this movie, Millie and Joe, who I really liked a lot, that kind of take Dumbo under their wing, and through a series of events I won't get into, they kind of coined him that name Dumbo by the fans, and it just kind of stuck. So throughout spending more time with Dumbo, they find out his ability to fly, where he can just kind of flap his wings and just pretty much fly across the room. And he gets to a point where he can really control it, even where people can ride his back and kind of fly along with him. So it's really cool to see this whole magical world unfold, as Disney loves to do. Now Colin Farrell's character Holt is someone who just came back from the army. It shows that he lost a limb, and I believe he was someone that used to do a lot of tricks with the horses. So losing that appendage kind of puts him out of the game. He has to kind of retrain himself, and then he also works alongside Dumbo to get these acts rolling for the show, so they actually even consider throwing Dumbo in these acts. If not, they're gonna get rid of him. So along the way we get to see Dumbo's amazing flight ability. Max ultimately decides to keep him along board, and it's just kind of all the stuff that kind of transpires with Michael Keaton's character wanting to buy him out because he has a huge circus of his own, which is kind of like a Disneyland for the year 1919. So it's really cool to see all of the stuff that they had before Disneyland. So it's a real magical exploration and deep dive into the world of Tim Burton, guys. This was a very colorful movie, and it showed a lot of people with a lot of acrobats and other people with crazy cool abilities just on screen, and just in multitudes, and many of them doing all this choreographed stuff in front of large crowds. Now Eva Green's character is Colette. She's someone that was taken from France and brought to America on this kind of circus run, but she's currently at this circus with Michael Keaton's character, kind of like a love interest, like a trophy wife, but she is also a main attraction of the show. She's a woman that does a lot of trapeze type of stuff. She's kind of hanging from bars, doing flips in the sky, and then she ultimately starts working with Dumbo to take flight and kind of involve her in her act for the big stage. It's a really cool progression of how they all start working together and start working with Colin Farrell and his two kids, and just more of the family unit. So it was really cool seeing that bond. Now honestly guys, Rotten Tomatoes has this score at 50%, which is extremely low, and the audience score is at 61%, but I totally gotta disagree, because even the slower parts of the movie, which weren't too many, I still pretty much invested in these characters, and like I said, the composition of Danny Elfman just really pulled me into almost tear-jerking moments, and you really felt for Dumbo, especially when they were pulling him apart from his mother. It really kind of tugged at your heartstrings, as the original animated film did way back in the day. Now that being said guys, I really love this this movie, and I don't watch too many films like this. So if you guys are Disney fans, if you guys are Tim Burton fans, I would definitely recommend going out and checking out Dumbo on the big screen, Dolby Digital. It sounded fantastic. The music was great, like I said. I can't stress how awesome Danny Elfman's compositions are. The acting was really good. I hadn't seen Danny DeVito in a movie in so many years. I always know him as Frank on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So kind of seeing him from that to this was really a breath of fresh air. He still definitely has it. He was a believable character, and I think he still has a couple of movies left in him. Now, if I had any negatives for this movie, it would probably be the character of Millie. She was someone that was more invested with being behind the camera. She didn't want to kind of follow in her father's footsteps at all. She wanted to be behind the scenes and she wanted to be more involved with science and different experiments like that. But when there was moments of her on camera and Dumbo, her excitement really wasn't there. I mean, you're seeing an elephant that can fly, especially for 1919. This has to be extravagant stuff. So I believe that her reactions weren't too amped up. So I would have liked to see a little from her, but other than that, I thought the casting was pretty good. Even some of the side characters who aren't really major players in this film had some great screen time moments, and I loved it overall. Visually, it was a really good movie, guys, and I'm glad it was not longer than what it was. I feel if it was over 2 hours, that would have been stretching it on way too much, and too much for most of our attention spans. So all that being said, guys, I gotta give Dumbo a solid 8 out of 10, saying go check it out. Everything looked really good, guys, and it's amazing how far we've come, especially these live action movies being adapted from cartoons. It's gonna be a great time for the Disney universe with Lion King coming up, with Aladdin coming up. I can't wait to see what they got in store, and that's why I gave this one the score that I did. If you have seen Dumbo this weekend or expect to see it, let me know in the comments below, guys. Let's get a dialogue started, and make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button if you did like this video. It always helps me, and make sure you guys are subscribing if you aren't already, and hitting that bell notification to always get alerted about content like this. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, I'm gone. I'm gonna leave all my social medias in the description below so you guys can follow me and all the movie news that I post up in my IG stories and Twitter feed all the time. All right, guys, till next time, I'm gone. Peace.